Welcome to Diary TV channel, where we uncover the stories that define African football, the triumph, the struggles, and sometimes the outright injustice. I'm Ogenekaro Asowe, and on today's story is a chilling episode that exposed the ugly underbelly of international football. The Nigerian Super Eagles' traumatic ordeal in Libya during their AFCON 2025 qualifier in October 2024. This wasn't just a logistical mishap, it was a nightmare that left players stranded, humiliated and unsafe, forcing them to abandon a critical match. Led by Captain William Troost-Ekong, the Super Eagles took a stand, but their story raised a bigger question. Why do footballing governing bodies like CAF allow such chaos to persist? Today, May 12, 2025, we are revisiting this scandal to demand stricter regulations on and off the pitch. This is a story of resilience, but also a wake-up call. Let's begin. October 2024. Nigerian Super Eagles were riding high after a 1-0 victory over Libya in the first leg in their Group D AFCON 2025 qualifiers on October 11 at Godswill Akpabio Stadium in Uyo. Fisayo Dele Bachiru's late strike had secured 3 points, placing Nigeria at the top of their group with 7 points. The return leg set for October 15th at the Matthias at the Benina Stadium in Benghazi, Libya, was their chance to cement a spot in the 2025 AFCON Cup of Nations in Morocco. The team boarded a chartered value jet flight, brimming with focus and determination. Playing away in Africa is always tough, but the Super Eagles, 3-time AFCON champions, were prepared for the challenge, or so they thought. What awaited them in Libya wasn't a football match, it was a deliberate dehumanizing ordeal that no professional athlete should endure. This wasn't about competition, it was about survival. On October 13, 2024, the Super Eagles flight approached Benghazi, where the match was scheduled. But without any warning or explanation, Libyan's authority diverted the plane to Abraq International Airport, a remote facility 230 kilometers away, barely equipped for international flight and typically used for Hajj operations. For over 17 excruciating hours, the Nigerian delegation, 22 players, coaches and officials were effectively imprisoned in an abandoned airport. Imagine the scene. Stars like Victor Osimhen and Wilfred Ndidi forced to sleep on hard airport chairs or on the floor with no food, water or Wi-Fi. The gates were locked, cutting them off from the outside world. Social media posts from players like Victor Boniface showed the team exhaustion and disbelief. Captain William Troost-Ekong described it as disgraceful behavior on X, revealing that even the Tunisian pilot who safely landed the plane despite the unfit airport was stunned, saying he had never seen anything like this. The pilot crew faced further humiliation, denied hotel room under alleged government orders. They were told only the pilot could rest, while Nigeria crew members were forced to sleep on the bare plane. This wasn't an accident. It felt like a calculated act of hostility, designed to break the Super Eagles' spirit before they even step onto the pitch. As the hours drag on, the Super Eagles captain, William Troost-Ekong, refused to stay silent. A veteran defender with a fierce sense of duty, Ekong to expose the Libyan authority action. 12 plus hours in an abandoned airport. They locked the gate and left us without phone connections, food or drink. All to play mind games, he wrote. He called the treatment inhumane and accused the Libyan Football Federation of ostracizing psychological warfare. Ekong's leadership galvanized the team. After consultation, they made a historic decision. They would not play the match. As the captain, together with the team, we have decided that we will not play this game, he declared on X. CAF should look at what's happening here. Even if they award Libya the points, we would accept to travel by roads in these conditions. It's not safe. He pleaded for the Nigerian government to intervene, emphasizing the team's vulnerability in a foreign land. This wasn't just about forfeiting points in a tight Group D, where Benin 1 point ahead could overtake Nigeria. It was about dignity, safety, and refusing to be treated like pawns. Ekong's stand was a powerful rebuke of the systemic failures that allow such travesty to unfold. The Libyan Football Federation issued a press release claiming the diversion was a routine issue due to air traffic control protocol or logistical challenge. They expressed regret but denied any sabotage, insisting that such actions are inconsistent with our values. They even suggested that their own team had faced delays in Nigeria, as if that justified stranding opponents for nearly a day. But their words rang hollow. No Libyan official appeared Abraq to assist, and the lock gate and lack of basic provisions spoke louder than any press release. The Nigerian Football Federation fired back, calling the treatment despicable and inhumane, and lodged a formal complaint with the CAF. The Confederation of African Football condemned the disturbing and unacceptable conditions and promised an investigation by its disciplinary board. But this incident exposed a deeper issue: CAF chronic leniency towards host nations' misconduct. From unsafe venues to deliberate logistical sabotage, African football has a history of turning a blind eye to actions that endanger players. Why was Libya allowed to host a qualifier without guaranteeing basic standards? Why did it take global outrage on social media for CAF to act? The Super Eagles ordeal wasn't an isolated case, it was a symptom of a broken system. After 17 hours of torment, the Super Eagles were finally allowed to leave Abraq on October 14, 2024, following pressure from Nigerian diplomats, social media campaign, and CAF's intervention. The team landed safely in Kano, with Ekong's tweeting, "Back home, safe and sound. Nigeria spirit can't be broken." On October 26, CAF's disciplinary board ruled that the LFF had violated AFCON regulation. Nigeria was awarded 3 points and 3 goals for the abandoned match, securing their lead in Group D with 10 points. Libya was fined and their qualification hopes crumbled. While the ruling was a victory for Nigeria, it felt like a band-aid on a gaping wound. The fine, $50,000, was a slap on the wrist for an incident that endangered life and undermined the integrity of the game. CAF's failure to impose harsher penalties, like banning Libya from hosting future qualifiers, sent a message: host nations can act with impunity and players must fend for themselves. The Nigerian government, through Sport Minister Senator John Owa-Eno, called for reforms. But as of May 12, 2025, CAF has yet to announce systemic changes. This Libya incident wasn't just a one-off. It's part of a pattern in African football. Teams are faced unsafe stadiums, biased officiating, and logistical nightmare for years, often with little recourse. In 2019, Zimbabwe Warriors were stranded in Nigeria due to poor planning. In 2021, Ghana Black Stars endure hostile conditions in Ethiopia. These aren't accidents, they are power plays, and the players paid the price. Football governing bodies like CAF must enforce stricter regulations. First, host countries should face mandatory pre-qualifier inspections to ensure airport, hotels, and venue meet international standards. Second, Deliberate sabotage like diverting flights or denying basic amenities should trigger automatic suspension from competitions and not just fines. Third, CAF must establish an emergency protocol to protect teams stranded in hostile environments with clear sanctions for non-compliance. Players aren't pawns, they are professionals who deserve respect. The Super Eagles' ordeal could have ended in tragedy, dehydration, exhaustion, or worse. If CAF want AFCON to rival global tournaments, it must prioritize player welfare and hold federations accountable. Anything less is a betrayal of the beautiful game. Despite the trauma, the Super Eagles emerged stronger. They qualified for AFCON 2025 with a draw against Benin in November 2024 and are now preparing for the tournament in Morocco, where they will face Tunisia, Uganda and Tanzania in Group C. Captain William Troost-Ekong, who led with courage, is optimistic, telling reporters in April 2025, "We've overcome worst. This team is ready to fight for the title." But their story is a clarion call. As of May 12, 2025, fans and players alike are demanding that CAF and FIFA take actions to prevent another Libya fiasco. What do you think? Should host nation face tougher penalties? How can we protect players in African football? Share your thoughts in the comments and let's keep the conversation alive. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more stories that matter. This is Ogenekaro Asowe on Diary TV channel signing off. But the fight for fairness in football continues.